I bet y'all can hear me now. I'm literally just getting in from work. Something came up right when it was time to leave. Hope everybody's doing well on this DEMO Tuesday. How about now? So you'll get to see how everything sets up behind the scenes. Didn't even have time to change shirts. What's happening? Can everybody hear me all right? I didn't even get a chance to test my audio out. Camera's still a little jacked up. Answering some Discord stuff. Yep. Oh, hello, Mr. Jorge. What's happening? How's the temperature where you at? You're in Miami, aren't you? Got a special package in. I think I know what it is. If it is what I think it is, it came in very quickly. Here's a hint right here. Brusho, your AI powered sonic electric toothbrush. This is the unboxing. Very pretty box, if I say so myself. A+ on the box. Very A+ on the box. Look at that live unboxing before I even get a chance to do the video tomorrow. I think the box is worth $150 by itself. Brusho AI powered sonic electric toothbrush. Oh man, you don't even have to cut it. It even comes, even the little tabs. I mean, that's how fancy they are. The little tabs comes with a little pull up. I never got shipping or anything on this. Brusho just told me they were sending me a last Friday. I think it was last Friday, Thursday, Friday. They said they were sending me a brush, toothbrush, whatever you want to call it. I told them I would do a video on it. And they said, sure, we'll send you one. And it came in already. So this had to ship close. Let me see what the box is. Chino, is it Chino, California? Chino, Chino, California. Shipped FedEx. It says FedEx, so it must have went FedEx at first. It then went to USPS or Post Service for the rest. I'm gonna tell you, Milkman, I have never in my life, and I know I'm a few years old, I have never owned an electronic toothbrush. It's one thing I've always wanted. I'm very OCD kind of about my teeth. I've never had any problems other than braces as a kid. I've never had any issues with my teeth. So if it's something that's going to help me keep up with cleaning and stuff like that, maybe I don't floss as much as I should, but when you open up, you have a quick start guide. and a bunch of different. I'm gonna tell you, I understand what you're saying about what JD said. From what I've read, it's a very professional toothbrush. Batteries are in it, what do you call it? Life Pro batteries. So this should be, it's got everything in little compartments. So got the charger. It's got the brush heads, and of course it's got the. But look, I don't know. I haven't had it in my hands. I haven't tried it yet. I haven't used it yet. But what I'm going to say is that from what I read, it seems to be a very professional model. So I don't think they're going to skimp there, especially with supposedly you can go like 40 days without a charge or something crazy like that. So one of the questions we did have is there are 2 extra brushes in here for brush show. For those who are coming in late, I see some people popping in. For those who came in late, I just received today, just opened the box. I just received a brush show to do a video, and y'all are getting to see the first unboxing of it. So brush heads, and then this says handle. So mine is white. I was hoping to get black, but they didn't give me a choice. It's free, so and it has a little label on the front. And so the first question some people asked was, and including myself, does it come with a head and 2 additional brush heads? No, it does not. It comes with a handle, and then it comes with a brush, or 2 brushes, I'm sorry. So you'll get 6 months out of this, and then you will purchase the extra brushes for $30. And I want to say was it 3 brushes or 4 brushes or something like that? So you get another 9 months for $30 or a year. I don't know. I haven't really been a couple of days since I've looked at all the stuff for it. So I'll get this thing charged. It comes with a charging base. And you know what? I'll try it out. I think y'all know I'm honest with y'all. I'm hoping I can give it a good review because, did they give it to me? Here is the charging base. Now, one thing I don't know if I agree with, but hey, maybe I'm old school. It comes with a USB charger. So who in their bathroom has a USB charger? Raise your hand. So now I'm about to go find something to plug this into. I don't have USB ports in my bathroom. So now I got to find out how I'm going to charge this. Another thing that I did confirm for those who did not want to watch my 1.5 hour long video last night, and I apologize, but we talk more and more about projects. More and more projects have stuff going on. So my video I did last night, but released first thing this morning, was an 1.5 hours. But again, when you start talking about more and more projects, that's why I put chapters. I know I'm not expecting y'all to sit there and watch an 1.5 hour video. I know I wouldn't. I hate watching long videos. I'll put chapters. But one thing I did find out is that you do have to have the app open to get properly compensated or rewarded for using this. It's going to tell you the timing. It's going to tell you what sections of the mouth to work on and what you missed and stuff like that. That's the whole AI thing behind it. Is I know me, I take a shower, jump out the shower while I'm still in the bathroom, shave, brush my teeth, mouthwash, whatever, and I'm out. I'm not going back into my room to get my phone. So that's going to be something new for me, is having to have my phone there as I'm sitting there playing with this. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. So what's cool is I have my little 10-port charger behind me. Y'all know I've showed y'all that 10-port charger before that I have my ESP32 devices in, and one of my Pi's in for my passive income projects like Earn App and stuff like that. And I'm going to go ahead and plug this in so I can get this charging. So maybe I can brush my teeth tonight. We'll see. At least I'm going to brush my teeth with this. I brush my teeth every night. It does have a pretty decent sized owner's manual. So it is pretty cool. For people like me who are in denial that I need glasses, I don't know what my wife keeps talking about, but this font, while it is a cool looking book, I think some people might have issue trying to read some of the small print with this black and white like it is and figuring out these images, but we'll see. We'll see. We'll get a chance to figure this out. Let me see if I can. I have an open USB port thing right here where I have this Ashler plugged into. So I don't see any kind of metal contacts or anything like that on here. This is plastic. It might look metal, but this is plastic. So I'm assuming it just sits in here. Oh, okay. When you lift the little sticker up, it's got a green bar to show you how much it's charged. So I'm gonna put it right here. And we'll see. We'll see how that works out. Temp is awesome, 87 degrees. Man, if I was in the Florida Keys, I'd handle the heat a lot better too. That's cool, man. All right, so we'll add this to the stack of DEPIN boxes that I have stacked over here on the shelf that my wife keeps complaining about. But you know what's, men? You never know when you're gonna need one of these boxes again. I still have boxes down here from Nebra outdoor devices, helium devices, DIMO, 2 different weather XM boxes. What else? Something else. Rover. But hey, I still give them credit. The box is smooth. Whoever designed the box, good job. Good job. Oh yeah, I keep all my boxes. I got boxes all over the place. You never know when you're gonna need them again. Rover. All right. I promise I'm not a hoarder. I just don't like throwing boxes away. Anyway, Film David, what do you think about new coverage hex colors? Anyone else as well? Actually, is that something that y'all are contemplating, or are you telling me that I'm telling on myself because I have not been to the map lately to see the new hex colors? Let's see. Wingbits. Live today. So I just told on myself that I haven't been. Let me shrink my screen just a tad. That's 2 unveilings in one day. Mm. Like, I'm guessing that's what you're talking about, is how you have a different color, I guess, depending on your hex ranking. And then here, hmm, oh no, this says my tower's offline. I'm about to stop my live to figure out what's going on with that. Oh man, I know the tower can't be offline because I would notice that. Well, let's go back to maps. Hmm. I'm gonna have to figure out what's going on with my tower. It says it's online. So here's my WB200 station that has, I don't know, y'all tell me what y'all think. Without blues. Because higher rankings are that's the more solid colored. It looks cool. Looks cool. Part of me likes to be able to see where the boundaries are, though. You know me, I'll find something negative in everything, if you want my honest opinion. But I do like how it is shaded so that you do know, your coverage. What's your better coverage areas? What's your better coverage hexes? But that Wingbits team, they're always dealing with something. They're always figuring something out, improving. I try telling y'all many times. I'm not saying this is axis here. People just want to complain about TGE or that they're not really seeing nothing. They're doing a lot of stuff behind the scenes. And if you paid attention to the AMAs, you paid attention to their announcements, or even that big kind of unofficial announcement that Axie put in the general room. And again, if you watch, I did actually that hour and a half video I did last night. There was a large section on Wingbits discussing a bunch of different things with them. So they have a lot of stuff going on. And again, I'm not just saying that because he's here. One thing that I have not played with, but I've had two different people. Somebody told me about this about 2-3 weeks ago, and honestly, I was so busy with stuff going on with my son going to college. I know I was an emotional wreck. He is coming home this weekend, so I get to go through it all again for Labor Day weekend. But one thing, I think it was Steve Reno or somebody told me. Steve Reno brings up to my attention that I need to look at this again because he started playing with it, and it is Saeed's. If I'm pronouncing that right, if I'm not, I apologize, but it's SAID. I'm pretty sure it's Saeed's. Saeed had a coding done for Wingbits that's kind of an unofficial third-party thing that I don't want to get in trouble by saying this, but Wingbits kind of endorse, but they don't really endorse third-party things. But they allow it by sharing it in their third-party section. It's not done by Wingbits, but anyway, it's basically a DIY for your DIY devices, kind of a dashboard type thing, web configuration, and I want to have time to play with this. I've heard a lot of people talk positive about it. People in the Discord, Steve Areno brought it to my attention, said he really liked it, and it's basically a dashboard for your DIY devices. Hey, I might have an opportunity to play with it now since my tower station shows online, but yet for some reason I don't have any messages coming across. I'm gonna have to that's a DIY device. That's the one I have with the AirSpy Plus thing on it or whatever it is. But it shows online because I didn't get an alarm that was offline, but yet it hasn't given me rewards in 3 or 4 days. I might have to go investigate that. At least that's what it shows. But anyway, I know you're supposed to use a local host and stuff. What I was questioning is if you can use this with Tailscale, since I really don't have any stations on one home network. But again, my point is, if y'all have not checked this out, this is from Saeed. I can leave a link in the description somewhere if anybody wants to try it out. But I've seen people discuss this on the Wingbits Discord, how cool it was. And this is something he did on his own. So I think that's pretty cool. Here's a Grumpy exclusive, everybody, from Axie. Grumpy exclusive until I announce it. We fixed the bug where it was showing hexes that didn't qualify for rewards. We didn't want that to be there for TGE. So what he's talking about is, and listen, I haven't been on top of my Wingbits news, but I saw them discussing earlier where if you don't get enough messages, maybe, I don't want to get into this whole RF thing and stuff with skip and with every now and then, your RF range varies with weather, clear day, sunspots and stuff like that. And sometimes, like one time on my tower thing, I had 160 hex coverage. It lasted 24 hours. But some hexes, you have to get a minimum count of messages in that hex to qualify for rewards in that hex. So your outskirt, your farthest out hexes, you might not be rewarded for that. But what Axie's saying is, I guess at some point it was showing a shade for you when you looked at your dashboard. But what he's saying is you weren't getting rewards for that. So they have cleaned that up so that you know what hexes you're getting rewarded for, which is a cool deal. So actually saying I can play with it with Tailscale. So I'm gonna let y'all know I'm playing with that as soon as I get off the live. And I'm gonna start, I want to start playing with it. Again, I will leave, in case anyone wants to play with it. I don't know if it's gonna let me put a link on here. There's the link. You can I'll pin it. And I had 8 votes so far in the DIMO poll. But just in case one of y'all wants to look at it, of course, don't go nowhere other than hitting the like button. Hit the like button before y'all leave and go play with Saeed's Saeed's program. But I want to put that up there for y'all. You can click on the link, save it for later, come back to the live, and then y'all can go play with that. But I think it's cool. I'm gonna tell y'all, I did a video a long time ago on Tailscale. Nobody's really asked for an update, but Tailscale is a freaking lightsaver. The only thing is, sorry, Axie, I gotta say something negative about it all the time, but if we can just get Tailscale somehow incorporated where you can put a key into our Wingbits or WB200s or high fix stations or something like that, kind of like we do with some of our third-party projects where you put a key in there for Tailscale so I can get into that device being 2 hours away from it, that would be really cool. That's the only thing we're missing. Other than that, I'll be happy. Grumpy will be happy. But knock on wood, I was just discussing with somebody else in DM. Somebody was asking again about the serial numbers for your WB200s and stuff with some of the issues in the small amount. My device, again, knock on wood, my device falls. I had somebody panicking basically like, oh, my serial number falls in that range of those WB200s that could have some type of issue. And sorry, my wife and my daughter are having a lively 16-year-old teenage girl conversation, if y'all can imagine how that's going. Anyway, so where was I at? Oh, about the serial numbers. My station that I just showed y'all, if I can pull it back up. So my station that is down here falls in the range of those serial numbers. So far, again, just because you know, this is a small amount. Listen, understand, some guys are upset about, look, if mine fell into it, I'll be upset too. But I just want to show y'all where my number is only like WB, I forget what the range of the serial numbers are, but the reason I'm going through all this is I'm just want to show y'all that just because I'm in the 900s, 20000 900 something. I don't want to give away my serial number, not that y'all can use it for anything, but my point is, just because your serial number falls in that range, don't hyperventilate. This is my range as of today. You don't see a lack of range. Look, it says the location, Grand Isle, Louisiana, WB200. So what I'm waiting for is, because somebody asked me, okay, what you going to do? If you read the announcement, it says if you fall in this range, at some point, you'll be able to sign up for the device and some kind of device you have to add for it for static dissipation, and you'll get that device. That's what I'm waiting on. So right now, I'm gonna tell you, this is on the coast of Louisiana, which means you're getting right here, you're getting summer thunderstorms every day. Thunderstorms, lightning. We were out here fishing, and it's not cool to be out there fishing in a boat during a lightning storm. We're getting heavy thunderstorms, 20, 30 mile an hour winds with a basic thunderstorm. It's actually up in this region right here. So this is my DIY device. I tell you all the time, I use this as a kind of a comparison for people who want to see the difference between a DIY device with a 5.5 antenna and a WB200 antenna. Because I still have people that argue with me to this day how what makes a difference doesn't make a difference. Anyway, just because it falls in serial range, guys, do not, ladies too, don't hyperventilate. So from our advice, if your station has been running for more than 30 days, you're likely not in an environment where it will happen easily. Mine has been running over 6 months with no issues. That's Axie. Mine has been running 3.5 months, maybe three months. I can't remember exactly when I put it out there. I have it grounded. I have the pole that it's installed on grounded. Hopefully that helps dissipate some stuff. The only thing I would worry about is there was a very, very very small amount of those fail stations was because of some type of water leakage in the front. And my idiot self in the video, because actually gets on me about it, I did hold, when this is the stock antenna that was on at WB200, I did hold the thing like this. So I know I put some force on that. I'm more worried about something happening to that seal with it, being 100 degrees and then cooling off with the rainstorms and stuff, and then coming back up and then cooling off with the rainstorms, or something happening to that seal. But again, so far, I haven't had the issue. Knock on wood. So as of right now, it's being weather tested for y'all. Hopefully I won't have a hurricane to have to weather test it. If we get a hurricane down there, I'm probably going to pick it up, because I'm not, Grand Isle usually gets wiped off the map for hurricanes, gets out there in the middle of the Gulf. I would go take it down and then bring it back when everything's cool and kosher. I'm not going to have my Wingbits station get blown into New Orleans, but we'll see. Yodel, how's it going, man? Who fought it? Hello, friend. Who fought it? Had a boring day today. He didn't do anything all day. Wasn't in the Discord kicking ant piles or nothing. the milkman, if it's working, the only thing is, like I said, in the announcement on the Discord, basically talked about there's an ESD adapter insert that at some point when this when this the insert is in the final stages of development testing, but if your station's running, there'll be a list or something that you can fill out, and then you will get one of these replacement inserts sent to you to help with ESD. That's how that works. So right now, basically, if it's working fine, don't touch it, don't do nothing, don't breathe on it, let it run. And again, this is a small amount. We hear about it because, of course, people are going into the Wingbits Discord and complain, but you have to think of the thousands and thousands that were sold that aren't having issues, like mine, like Milkmans and different people, and like Axes, you know, meaning it's WB 200 and the Iron Storm still on roof, got range, but no airplanes. You'll fly an airplane over the house a couple of times. Look, man, I'm telling you now, I wouldn't mess with it. I'm not touching mine. If it's running, I'm not touching it. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. So, and like I said, I'm gonna go and play with the new program or deprogram. Saeed's program for DIY stations. Check that out and see how that works. But again, those have been kind of running too. I haven't had any, knock on wood, I haven't had any issues with anything. I got 15 devices running Wingbits. I got one that's offline only because of the host. I don't know if he's here today or not, but he told me, hey, I'm taking this offline. I'm putting more feed line on it. I'm putting one of the better antennas and stuff, because he had the setup. All I had to do was send him the Pi and the Geo signer. That was our deal. And I think he had a whole old helium antenna because the range was not that good on it. That's my Florida host. If you've ever seen the videos and coverage, it's not the best. He texted me one day out the blue saying, hey, I'm putting feed line up to make it higher and with a new antenna. I'm scared because I don't know what kind of feed line it is. He has trees around him. I don't know how much it's going to improve. He told me he was moving the whole device to the other side of the house or into a shed. It don't have Wi-Fi. He plugs in the USB Wi-Fi thumb and can't figure out why when I plug this in, am I not getting Wi-Fi? Well, we didn't program it, buddy. So now he has to bring it back, and dealing with hosts are fun. But he told me his was going to be offline, so that's it. All my other ones right now, knock on wood, are online, and we'll see how it goes. We're just patiently waiting for TGE. Yodel, basically, if you're getting airplanes, then the normal amount of airplanes you get. If you're normally getting, if you look at your TAR screen and if you normally get 150 airplanes and you're getting 140, 150 airplanes, it's good. If you're getting 5, it's not good. That's basically, you'll see a drop off of about 90 to 95% of your rewards. It is that drastic. Basically, it's barely on if you have an issue. So, if you lose 10 or 15 wings a day, that means somebody probably put another Wingbit station up kind of close to you. Because you have to remember, when you put this Wingbit station up, you're going 200 miles out if it's a good setup. But anybody 150 miles past that 200 can start encroaching. I mean, that's like 300, 350 miles away. Technically, that station can encroach in your area if I figure that out right. So, south of France. We looked at this, that general area. I mean, y'all don't have as many stations down there, so y'all might be doing pretty good, depending on who, which station's yours and stuff. I don't know the terrain out there. I don't know what kind of terrain that you have. Um, if you have, this is all mountains, hills. I've never been to France before. Greece is on my bucket list because that's where my family immigrated from many years ago. But some of these, I'm wondering if these are just blocked by trees, blocked by, that's some pretty good coverage. But anyway. Marseille Airport. That's not Marseille, is it? Marseille. Is this one it? The where I'm at now? Right here? It says bottom left. And that one's getting about 150. I mean, if that's I don't really see any getting 200. I see this one getting 100. This one's doing good. I mean, if this one's yours, the problem is the video is about 30 seconds past when I'm actually making this right now. So I'm going to assume this one's yours. If this one is yours, I think that's good coverage. I mean, I don't know how many hex it is. I don't want to, take up too much of everybody's time, but I think this is darn good coverage. I don't know what the setups of the stations are, but that's a lot of hexes. And I think that's pretty good for the amount of stations that they have around here. For around the amount of stations you have around here, because think about it. If this is you, like you said, or like we think, all these stations are cutting into your rewards. All these stations are cutting into your rewards. So you getting 100 plus wings, I think that is damn good. I think that's damn good. Don't touch nothing. Don't touch nothing. Now, you're asking, what's it going to look like if you are having issues? You're going to go from 100 to 13, basically. That's the drastic. If there's an issue with a device, you're going to see that kind of drastic cut. Now, this guy, if he's always had this since day one, his isn't an issue. Like you said, he's got in mom's basement or something like that. His coverage is not the best. And he's just hurting himself. Now, I mean, I don't know what his situation is. I don't want to be ugly and mean to nobody. But when you're spending the kind of money you're spending, the good money you're spending, your good money, to me, you got to put the effort to make it the best possible. And this is why this is a perfect example leading into a discussion why we don't go with bigger hexes like somebody really wants every day, who asks for it every day. This is the perfect example. This is not providing that great, this is not providing that great of a coverage in this kind of a small area. Yeah, it might be providing decent coverage here, but it's because of, if you want to call this piss poor coverage, is why we have to have stations that can go this close to provide this kind of coverage. It's the redundancy, but not, this is not really helping the project. And this is why you have to have the hex size that you have to give that redundant coverage and give the opportunity to somebody to have better coverage. So Milkman said he's a third of that. Be happy. I'm gonna tell you right now, this is I mean, I'm curious of your setup. because I don't want to sit there and count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I mean, you're looking at about 80 hexes, 90 hexes, maybe. You're rivaling what I'm doing with a 400-foot tower on my buddy's tower when it's working. And again, I think your rewards would be way better. You're getting 4.8 million data points a day. That's damn good. Damn good. Do not touch nothing. I wouldn't touch anything. And here your buddy's getting 400,000 data points a day. I think you're doing good, brother. I wouldn't mess with it. It's only on your house roof. You must live on the cliff. You must live in a high rise or something. Let's go back and look at it. So yeah, so that is one thing that is benefiting you, is because this is kind of what I was telling actually, where you can almost can't see where the golf is. But you're right. Water helps out a lot. Just like my station that's in Grand Isle, Louisiana, is, look how far I'm getting. I mean, I'm almost. One day I said I want to hit Cuba, but I'm almost hitting Cuba from Louisiana. I don't know what the mileage is on this. And on a good day, I'm even getting into Tennessee. I guess the wind wasn't blowing the right direction, but hey, I'm in Tennessee right here. I know Axie lives somewhere around here, so I got to be crouching into his backyard. Guys, the best setup you can do is what you need to do. This is strictly a coverage. The more hexes, the better your rewards are going to be. Sometimes it's worth putting the effort out. Sometimes it's not going to be worth the effort. Depending on how many stations you have, or if you have trees around, or you got bigger houses around, or anything like that. Interesting. There were 4 million data points with the 30-40 hex. But data points also matters how many planes, how many aircraft you have going around. I'm getting 7 point something million. But again, Miami has to be one of the top, if I had to guess, somebody can quote me if I'm wrong or correct me if I'm wrong. Miami's probably one of the top 5, maybe. I would guess top 5, at least top 7 to 8 airports. And if you look at these aircraft, Miami, everything flies this way to Houston, to Dallas. I'm getting all those flights. This is like, I call this the Gulf Highway. Miami, everything flies this way, or the way it comes out is flying through here over Tallahassee. And I'm getting a lot of air data points, whatever you want to call it, with that. Look, I'm not even showing the map. So this is what I was talking about. Miami, a lot of flights, they're going south of New Orleans, going into Houston, going into Dallas, out of Miami, Orlando, Tampa, Key West, Daytona, all that like that is all going through here. And like I was saying, there's even some out of Miami, West Palm Beach, even come this way. And I'm capturing all that. Capturing all of it. So that's what I'm getting about 200. Let me move this over some. Get my fat head out the way. It goes to show you, like, people, different days are going to have different rewards. 250 here, 200, 202 here. But my data points, I'm at 8 million, 7 million, 7.8 million. I hit 8 million here. Now look, this is going to show you, I had 8.1 million data points where this was 7.6. My lights in my way. But then when you go look at my rewards, this had more. So if I'm not mistaken, data points aren't the end all be all, because I don't, Wingbits doesn't use all the data in the signal and the messages that you get. It goes to show you. Oh, what else? Oh man, well, the whole reason y'all came here is, can somebody tell me what the hell is going on with DIMO? What are y'all thoughts? That's what our poll is for tonight. It's been one of the big talks in my Discord. If y'all not in my Discord, the link's in the description below. At one point, I think it was like 140% increase in a day. Me as Mr. Negative, I'm screaming price manipulation all day. I don't understand how a project that's almost dead is all of a sudden revived. We've had a little bit of price decrease because, like I said, people are going to be selling. But just like last night, when I thought this was going to go all the way back down, last night we saw this jump up to 8 cents, came back down, and I thought, oh, that was it. Everybody sold, and it's going right back to where it was. Nope, I look like a fool this morning. I mean, it was at 12 cents, ladies and gentlemen. It went from 4 cents to 12 cents. 3x right there. It has come down some, back down to this 10 cents. Somebody make it make sense. Yeah, somebody said it got introduced on a new exchange. That was last week. It got a new exchange. When you say, why is DEMO's price up today? CoinMarketCap can't even tell you. CoinMarketCap's trying to tell you it's because coincided with bullish indicators. Revolut exchange listing. Again, that happened last week, maybe week before that. So that's not what this is. What I truly believe, and listen, I know some of y'all want to be positive. Maybe that's a disease that I just can't get a hold of, but I try to be realistic too. This project's been struggling for how long? I truly believe that what happened is DEMO crapped their pants. We got almost double the rewards yesterday that we would normally get compared to what we would normally get. And I personally think, this is just me, I have no basis because I don't have no inside scoop with DEMO. Y'all can say if y'all think something different. I personally think what happened was DEMO crapped their pants when they realized the amount of people who did not get subscriptions. All the people who didn't have a free subscription anymore, they gave them an extra week. Those people still didn't get subscriptions. And when they saw the amount of people they were losing, I think they said, hey, we need to take some of our party and stripper money, put it into liquidity into the project, maybe burn also, do both to show people that, yes, you need to be part of this project. And yes, you will get rewarded more than what the subscription costs. Because that was the number one complaint. Number one complaint is I was making $4 a month or whatever it was and they wanted me to pay $6 for subscription. It just doesn't work like that. What I wanted to compare was, I wanted to see what my current rewards were on my best, just take my best station. My daughter's Camry, which used to be my wife's, has been the longest one hooked up. And the rewards for that, the rewards for that were 69 tokens. So you take 69. 69 tokens. You're looking at that's 69 for one token. So that's 777 divided by 7 days is $1.11. So when you look at Grumpy's passive income project list, This is where DEMO's at compared to where it was in the battle for last place. Making 34 cents. Now, you saw how much the prices just jumped just now in this live. But I truly believe that that's what's going on. Is what else can it be? Again, it's not only new exchanges. I just invest. Somebody said, well, maybe there's more investors buying in. Why? Why would they buy in if all these people are not renewing subscriptions? I truly believe that that's what this is that they were like, oh crap. Did they find a new customer? Because to me, if it was something that they were proud of, hey, we got a new customer and we were able to spend, all this money on liquidity and stuff, to me, there would be an announcement on it. And there's not an announcement on it. When anybody asks a question in the Discord, they go back to that thing, there's no price discussion, which again, I completely disagree with. To me and Joe Blow should be able to talk price discussion because we're not officially with the project. I understand the project can't talk about price discussion because they get in trouble, but there's, to me, but there's no new announcements unless voting for DIP 11 is what did it. But I don't know. All the selling pressure is gone. You just don't like paying month. I just don't think that's what it is. I do agree with you that they don't have no liquidity to pump it as much as it's pumping. I agree with that also. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. But for a while, I mean, people weren't selling it in the last couple of weeks. Before the subscription crap was happening, and you didn't have this kind of increase. You didn't have the people selling like that. You got people who are telling me they're locked into staking for 2, 3, 4 years. I don't think people that aren't. I truly believe the opposite. I think the more this price goes up, you have people that are going to start like, I need to go and sell whatever I can right now before this. Who's buying DEMO? I mean, let's talk about that for a second. Who's buying DEMO? Would you buy DEMO when you look at a chart? Tell me something. Who in their right mind looks at this chart and says, you know what? I need to go buy. You've watched this number for how long? Here's the daily chart. Who's looking at this and going, this is what I need to buy? I just don't, I don't know. I don't know. Here's the 4-hour chart. You haven't been at this price since February 1st. Was the last time you saw this price. Look, I'm happy for it. Don't get me wrong. I can't sell. I'm stuck. I have a little bit to sell, but it's not even worth $100. All mine stuck in staking for another 3 months. But look, I hope it's legit. I signed up like a month ago for the whole thing where, a third party can buy your software, your data. I don't know how that works. I don't know if I'm supposed to be getting rewarded for that, or that's only if somebody chooses to buy my data because they see my make and model of cars or something like that. I don't know. I don't know if this is because at one point they were trying to do a thing where they were going to bulk sell data third party with a third party broker or something like that. I remember we talking about that. Could that be it? But again, Odin Nosferatu. Dude, I'm not trying to argue with you, please. I don't know, but I just don't think this is people who all of a sudden just started buying. Like, and even so, who when it gets up here and it starts stalling, and like who says, it's already up. It's already up 100%. You doubled your money. Who's like, let's go buy more? I don't know. Part of me, because this whole discussion we had about the CEX thing on Wingbits, little lighthearted, lively discussion. I hope it is because of this new exchange, new CEX, new CEX in Japan or somewhere comes up with, now you can buy it or somewhere, or was it France or somewhere, and you can buy it there. Now it's available, because it proves my discussion of the Wingbits thing. Despite what some people want to disagree, hey, we all have our opinions of what's better for the project, and none of us really have to make that decision. But I don't know. 10% of y'all said y'all go vote on the poll so I can see what everybody looks like. 2 people bought the subscription. Well, that changed. So just holding. I'm kind of in a both. I wish there was a way you can vote for 2. I'm just holding. I staked whatever I could. Maybe it was 3 months ago, because I got 3 months left of it. So I guess it was a 6-month stake. Mine comes down out in October. Hey, I hope this price action stays going. But I could tell you, Grumpy's selling. I haven't put my little. I know you'll love my scrolling thing. There you go. Grumpy's selling DIMO tokens in October. You heard? Unless we in this crazy bull in October, I think, I keep saying alt season. If we have a strong alt season, it will be October, really in November. So if that DIMO token's still doing that, point the right way. I mean, but I'm gonna sell if that's the sip profits. Look, I hope this is sustainable. Call me negative, call me grumpy. Does anybody really, be honest? Y'all not gonna upset me. Does anybody think this is sustainable? Do you think you're gonna get this? Hey, DIMO's back, baby. Of all the DEPIN projects that are continuously doing this, DIMO's gonna shock the world. Or is this because of this new dynamic with subscriptions and, like Odin's saying, where people, the Jeters have gotten out of it and it's only buyers now? We'll see. Odin says he thinks it's smart to load up on DIMO when it's low because new people need. But what I'm asking you, Odin, is, again, trying to get my face out of the picture. You're looking at this, and do you really think 10 cents and 11 cents, when it's been 5 and 6 cents, this is all 6 cents, do you really buy right now? Or do you wait till it comes down and buy some more? This is the question that people have about DEPIN, is how many people, since helium, how many people are actually buying token? And I'm curious, like, this is just me talking out loud. I'm not trying to be rude to y'all or anything like that. It's a question that me and my buddies talk about, and people that I'm in the discords with, is, since helium, And I still say helium was as successful as it was, going from $1 or $2 when I first got into it to 40 or 50. If it wasn't on CEXs, that would have never happened. But who's buying GeoNet tokens? Who's buying Nadix tokens? Who's buying SwordChain tokens? Who's buying Hive Mapper tokens? Why would a guy who's investing on CEX and stuff say, I'm going to buy those tokens? I would hope. I hope there's people out there who are hearing about Wingbits, seeing Robin go and have all these meetings and going to all these DEPIN and crypto conferences and everything else they're doing, these flight, aviation conferences and stuff like that are hearing about it. And they say, you know what, my company might not be interested in that, but I have big thoughts on Wingbits, positive thoughts on Wingbits, bullish thoughts on Wingbits, and I'm gonna go buy that token. That's what you're hoping for, right? And maybe they got people who have been waiting for this moment for DIMO. Odin, dude, bro, please don't think I'm disagreeing with you on everything. I just don't agree with that. I think, well, I guess underpriced. Do you mean that people look at white paper, or people look at the history of a project, AB project, let's say ABC project? They're like, this project ain't doing the best, but it's not failing either. And this price we think is lower than what it really should be. So we're going to buy that token. Because to me, as an investor, it ain't just the underpriced value of the token. It's also the value of the project. And if anybody has been following DIMO at all for the last 6 months, it hasn't really been that bullish, unless I'm just following it in the wrong places. DIMO begging people to go buy stuff on Amazon. But again, that's why I'm still working, not retired in my fishing boat and doing YouTube videos, because I don't know. Nor do I have that kind of money to invest. I have my DIMO tokens. I don't really buy tokens from projects from HNT on. That's why I'm in the project, to get the tokens that way. I know people that are out there who buy additional tokens, but you're not going to see me buy Silencio tokens, no matter what they're valued at. I don't know. I said, and I can't remember which one it was, but was it SwordChain? SwordChain. To me, that is a undervalued token when you look at this right here. And I mentioned that in a lot of my videos. With 100 million circuit supply and a 2 billion total supply, but this total supply ain't coming anytime soon. To me, there's too many zeros here when you look at other 100 million things. So to me, this is a extremely undervalued project. Extremely. See, when it first got released at? To me, that is what a 100 million circulating supply project should be close to. And ain't been there since the beginning. I wouldn't go buy SwordChain though. That's just me. It's down 90%. But what you're saying, should this be a good buy? Hey, that's why investors know way more than me. I didn't pass college math. That's why I always make the joke about me and my college math. Y'all tell me what y'all think. But Odin's son, I keep saying Odin's son like Thor movie. If I'm mispronouncing that, I apologize. They might unlock future util that only insiders know about and buy early. Is that insider trading? Shouldn't everybody know that? But you're right. Again, I got 5 DIMO macarons. I had to my son's in college. His DIMO, I didn't get any rewards for the first time. That was one of my first DIMOs I bought for the first time ever. It did not get rewards because where he's at a college in North Louisiana, there are no helium devices. I think that's for the people who have macarons. That's a huge problem. Now, I understand when I bought the macarons, I chose to take that risk of not having helium coverage would be a problem. Down here in South Louisiana, I got 17 helium devices around South Louisiana. Not having helium coverage around here wasn't going to be an issue. When you look at the helium map for the Helium Explorer, North Louisiana, I didn't think that'd be an issue either until you start clicking on the hexes, and all of them are offline. So I had to go to one of my host spots, take down a helium device, which that helium device was witnessing about 20 other ones. So it was getting pretty maximum type rewards. And I had to go and send that sense cap to my son, where it's going to be a lonely station by itself at this college campus. If for some reason the college internet doesn't block it, but it's not going to get any witnesses. Only thing it's going to get is his DEMO device. And if there's somebody else that happens to pass through there with a DEMO device or a WeatherXM device or something. But my point is, if I didn't think DEMO would make it, period, I wouldn't have wasted my time on that. Technically, I'm losing money by sending my helium device up there. So we'll see. Oh, I still think, Sword Chain just started this camera thing. I got paid very well for this camera thing. The new thing for Sword Chain, that part of it was free. Anybody could participate in that. I think I got $90 worth of Sword Chain, even at this price. Hell, if it eats a zero and goes back to that all-time high the next alt season, that 90 turned into 900. I ain't counting on it, but you got to remain positive like that. You know me, I'm always positive. So I thank everybody who came on tonight. I don't know if there's anything else y'all want to discuss. Tuesday night. We'll be back again Thursday night. Who knows? I might do it tomorrow night too. So tomorrow I got to do my brush show video. Get ready for the Friday brush show release drop on Helium Deploy. If you happen to want to go pick one up, Helium Deploy Grumpy Dad 56 code, or for, anything y'all want on Helium Deploy. If the code don't work, let me know. I just have to get it added. I'm gonna tell y'all, people are still buying Wingbits devices. I still got my code being used on HiFix. It was just used last night or maybe first thing this morning. I'm gonna tell you the top things being bought are the Wingbits WB200 and the Nubler weather stations. I don't know what the Nubler weather station has that everybody, but it's one of the top devices being sold, at least using my code. Let me see what else. Let me see what else is being sold, just to let y'all know. It's a cool way of knowing kind of like what the inside scoop is on what DEPIN projects are being sold. Gotta do the stupid capture. Let's see. All my fantasy football buddies are talking smack, so my phone keeps blowing up. My watch keeps blowing up. Let's see. Commissions. Ashler's Avalon 3S is what was purchased. When was that purchased? Maybe I got to do a video on the Avalon 3S. So Ashler's number one, again, because of price, but Ashler's number one, 132 were sold using my device and using my code. Thank you all very much. I didn't make that much from that code because the device didn't cost that much, but it's cool. Welcome to the project. WB200s, dang. Third place, they had several Avalon Nano 3S's that were purchased. I'm going to have to look into that. I've never messed with it before. Wingbits MGW310, WeatherXM Helium weather station. That's interesting. And then the Nubler weather station. That's what was purchased with my helium discount code from Helium Deploy. HiFix has less things that you can buy with them. So I'm trying to get to everything that was purchased on my on HiFix, but let's see. HiFix had somebody bought, when was this? August 24th. August 24th, 11 p.m. Somebody bought a Wingbits WB 200. So I'll tell you, they're still buying them. August 21st, somebody bought an MGW 310. So people still buying those. People still into GeoNet, despite what those, awards being halved. Somebody bought 2 WB 200s. Then somebody bought, this is the 17th, MGW 310 for $1,000. WB 200. And what's this last one? July 30th. 3. Oh, I know who bought those. 3 WB 200s. So it goes to show you, people still buying them. People still getting the project. I'm gonna have to go figure out what the big deals with this Avalon Nano 3S. Is that the thing that is supposed to be the compact heater that can also generate Bitcoin? He must be doing something with it. Avalon Nano 3S. I don't mind Bitcoin for cheap. I'm curious. I'm curious to know. This is 6 terahashes. So here's a new blue Marco right here that I was telling you about that people have been buying. See, this doesn't even tell you the terrorists. One person got lucky with this device in solo mine, and actually he had several of them, but got a solo mine of Bitcoin and made bank, and everybody's just flocking to these things. Not me, but hey, I wish everybody the best. If you get one, I hope you win it. Here's Nubla Marco. This has been since I have started with a Helium deploy code and a HiFix code. Other than the Wingbits and of course the Ashler, this has been one of the top sellers, especially of all the weather stations they sell. Why Nubla versus the other ones, I don't know. Somebody was supposed to send me one. I don't think he's going to be on this live tonight, but for those who were on my live about 2 months ago, a fellow YouTuber said he was sending me one, and I'm still waiting on it. Why Nubla? If you saw my joke last week about, who sits around a round table and says, we need to come up with a DEPIN project. I know. Let's come up with a weather one because there's already 4 already. Let's come up with a 5th one. I guess it's all about marketing. How you market your weather data to people who want to buy that kind of stuff. But being in the weather and emergency type stuff that I do, I don't think people realize the amount of commercially available weather. They have people who put their own companies that put their own weather radars up and then sell that data to the local news people to be able to use that during news feeds. So don't just think the National Weather Service is the only one putting radars up. These companies are so serious about it. They're doing all this stuff. They're putting their own weather stations up. So, where Wingbits was only really competing against other hobbyists who are putting flight aware stuff up, and was it FA24 or whatever it is like that? Nubla and WeatherXM are competing against professionals who are doing this as a profession and building radars and weather stations and stuff. To me, it's a more of an uphill climb. But again, Nubla is one of of all the weather stations, Nubla is by far the hottest selling one that people have used my code on, just so y'all know. And again, here's the MGW 310. People still buying them. I'll be honest. Look, I'll be honest with y'all. Y'all know I'm honest with y'all. I thought GeoNet people, well, this is the feedback y'all are telling me. People, while they 100% believe in the project, I've told you before, of all my projects that are live, GeoNet is the one I'm the most bullish on out of everything that's live right now. You know, when you see all those hexes and super hexes, that's paying customers wanting coverage in that area. So, but what I'm getting at is, in the long way, from what y'all are telling me, a lot of people aren't buying those stations. You buy a $700 GeoNet station, making $2 a day. I know some people get irritated when I use the ROI like it's a verb. But either way, whatever way you want to look at it, verb, noun, pronoun, adverb, adjective, it's still going to take you 350 days to get there. $700 minus using Grumpy's code saves you $70, somewhere around there. And then you got to pay for shipping. So you're right back. Average monthly earnings, $62. They're not hiding it. That's $2 a month. $2 and a little bit of change. GeoPulse. Hey, I know a lot of y'all bought GeoPulses. I even said I was a little hesitant because you don't get full-time, all the time rewards with it. If y'all got GeoPulses, I think Who Fought It might have got one. Y'all tell me, are y'all getting any rewards for this right now at all? I know there was some challenges every now and then. You get some Geo tokens, but I don't know. To me, whoever put this is just being an a-hole, because we all know this project is not a scam. This is a legit project. So, I don't know. I went way off the deep end now. I'm off the rails. My geosource from trees, 36 a day. Yeah, but that is one project that, Wingbits, you can get away with being around some trees. GeoNet, you cannot be. I don't have one here at my house because of that. I planted a tree when I built this house right about 20 years ago. Put a little tree in the backyard. That tree's huge. If you've seen my videos with when I was testing out my Wingbit station, when I changed out the antenna from this to that to the 5.5, and it was a drastic difference. That was in my backyard. You could see the tree. It is gigantic. I had TV off-air antennas on top of a 40-foot tower, ham tower, and the tree's now blocking those TV antennas pointing towards Baton Rouge. That's how tall it is. I can get away with the Wingbits antenna that's there. I cannot get away with a GeoNet because you're blocking half those satellites. That's the one thing about GeoNet, Anacord, those satellite things. Kind of excited about the drone charging station Geo announced. I'm gonna have to look at that. I did not see a drone charging station. I know there was a company dealing with that in the past. I also know that the DScam project that some of us were involved in, 2-3 years ago, talked about, but it seemed like all they did, they basically just stole everybody's projects. They stole GeoNet's thing with the satellite, Wingbits with the planes, D-Charge. There was their own D-Charge version where they stole the D-Charge idea. Oh God, it was crazy. Crazy times we lived in. But I know that Wingbits was talking about the other day during the AMA with these projects that are going to have chargers need the ADS-B coverage, fine-tuned ADS-B coverage. We've heard some projects talk about fine-tuned distance measurement, whatever you want to call it, with the GeoNet, with those type of projects. So that's something I'm going to have to look at. I'm not even getting, someone thinks the earth is flat. The earth's flat, but yet if you leave New York and you go due east, what happens? You don't fall off. Eventually you get to France or somewhere over there. listen, you know, I'm just going to close with saying this, and I've said this in some of my projects, you know, in some of my videos. I mean, do I think it's, somebody sent me this earlier, and I've said several times, I hope I get to have a drink with this dude when we go to the crypto conference in November. I'm gonna buy him a drink. I owe him a drink for everything he has helped me with when I started my channel. Okay. But this dude right here coming out with another video about DEPIN being dead. Now, look, I haven't watched it yet. It could be just clickbait and he's saying he's full back into it. But like the person who sent this to me said, hey, man, did you see your buddy put another DEPIN's dead video out when he was just giving a code out a couple of days ago selling another DEPIN project? Well, which one is it, buddy? Again, I like Tech Hustler. Some of y'all don't. The dude helped me out a lot when I was first starting off. Helped me out. I won a chirp miner from his channel. So again, I owe him a drink. If he drinks, I don't know if he drinks or not with all the training he's always doing. But when we go, I hope to hang out with him and learn some more stuff with him. But the whole DEPIN is dead. You know, you can't really zoom in on the picture because if you try to look at the picture, you click on it, whatever. But some of the stuff that he smashed was broken. But I'm planning on watching this video a little bit later. Not later. I haven't even eaten yet. I came straight home, came on here. I haven't eaten yet. I want to go play with that program from Saeed, and I want to play some Call of Duty, and I need to make a real drink because that's why I got home late. It's been one of them days. But I watch all his videos. I'll be honest with y'all. I watch every one of his videos. You learn stuff. Maybe not all those videos about the crypto miners, you know, and that kind of stuff like that, but not DEPIN miners, but his crypto miners, ASICs and stuff like that. I don't know. I don't know. Rage bait made more views. If it works, it works. That's one thing I've talked about on this channel many times is clickbait. I try to be as honest as I can. And look, I have a couple memory issues. I played, you know, like you know, Married with Children with Al. Like I played high school football. I played high school football, but I played center and offensive line. I got hit in the head many times. So there's times where I'm not trying to lie to y'all. I truly just don't remember. Because someone's like, hey, you said that today, but the other day in the video you said this. And I'm like, I don't remember saying that. And I go look at the video. I sure enough said that. It's not that I'm lying to y'all. It's just that, you know, my cognitive memory is not the greatest. But I try to be honest with y'all. That's why I don't like doing clickbait. I don't feel like I have to draw you in. I've always said Wendy O. I watched a lot of Wendy O's videos. I can't really handle Wendy O's videos now because of all the XRP stuff. Not that I hate XRP, but it's like shove the XRP down my throat a little bit more. What else? She is the queen of clickbait. But between that and I guess her cleavage, it brings the people in. It's working. The clickbait works. But hey, you know what, me? I never thought I'd get to 32,500 subscribers. I never thought there'd be 100, 200 people watching my videos. And that's what I get. And I'm happy with that. I get 18 every now and then. I get to 20 or 22, maybe 24 people watching my live. It used to upset me a little bit, but then the next day I'd come on there and I had 200 people overnight, maybe from overseas or wherever, watch my live. I'm happy with that. I don't need to do clickbait. I don't need a lot of y'all. Every now and then I've had some fun with a little bit of clickbait about this project's dead and stuff like that. The project, y'all argue with me if you think, I'll tell you my memory is shot. The Cat in the Box freaking project. Irwin, thank you. Tell me, you can't make a transaction on it. The transaction fails. It's had 0 transactions on its chain or whatever you want to call it. 0 in 24 hours. And I've been watching it. So it's going on 2 or 3 days now. Again, you can't pull out of it. My transactions in July that said they were successful, but yet I haven't had a token go into my wallet since June, and they can't answer my questions anymore. Nobody's barely in the Discord anymore. They kept saying, and then they told me wanting you to buy NFTs. So technically, is that project dead? No. But in my eyes, it's on extreme life support, and the battery on the life support device is dying. You know, I don't know. So he be lurking. Look at Tech Hustler in my live, dude. That's awesome. I swear to God, dude. If you're going to the crypto conference in November, don't be buying none of that real expensive liquor. You know, I can drink Crown and stuff like that, but don't be buying none of these $100 shots of whiskey or anything like that. But you know, if we're going to Mining Disrupt, I owe you a drink, dude. Seriously. You've helped me out, get started. You know, I've told you personally, your videos, I get a kick out of your videos with you smashing stuff and everything like that. And I still have not watched your last video, but I will, dude. I'll be in the over promised, undelivered. Hey, I don't disagree with that. You know, many people have talked about it. If you don't get your profits in the first week, you don't want to dump on a project. That's the issue. You don't want to dump on a project in the beginning because you want to hold and not dump on them. But let's be honest, 99% of these projects out there, if you don't sell within the first week or two, I just showed everybody Sword Chain. You lost 90%. If you held Sword Chain tokens in the beginning, you lost 90%. 90%. Look at that. In the beginning, it was 2 cents. If you did the right thing, the honest thing, and you supported this project, you're like, I'm holding. Where are you at now? You gained a whole 0. So you're right. And again, I also say, do people come out with DEPIN projects just for the sake of DEPIN projects? Hey, you know what? That works in the real world, but there's nothing like that project in crypto. So let's bring that aspect to crypto. I don't know. I still think Wingbits will flip the script. I still like GeoNet. But do we need a 5th weather station? Do we need, we saw what happened with all the Fry projects. Silencio, I can't stand it no more. I refuse to even touch it anymore after all the gimmicks and the stupid raffle tickets and stuff they do. Do we need another sound project? Do we need another sound project? Fry had light project. Do we need another light project? I don't know. I drink beer. Hey man, beer's good. Especially in Texas, because I'm a huge Shiner Bock fan. And that's the problem, is when I go to a lot of these conferences across the country for work, they don't have Shiner Bock. I'm a huge Shiner Bock fan. So, yep. They dumped the price on purpose to load them before the pump. Odin, you all about that, brother. I gotta tell you, you are all about that. Everybody's buying tokens when it gets super cheap. The problem with me is I kept buying a dip and buying a dip and buying a dip. And like that meme that goes around X every now and then, like with someone with their pockets out, I can't buy no more dips because I bought all these tokens on the dips. You know, I'm hoping we have a huge alt season. I still think it's going to be October, November. Tech Hustler thinks we missed alt season. Unless he's changed his mind on that. I watched that video. I like that video. You know, I think Wingbits is going to surprise a lot of people. I really do. I'm not just saying that because I have a lot of money invested in them. When you listen, if you haven't listened to it, and I have a link in the description for those 14 people still here. If you have not watched or listened to that AMA and listen to Robin talk on what they're trying to do and how they're trying to do it and what they offer compared, and I even discussed it in the Discord, what they're offering compared to what these companies are using now. These companies are using Flight, look, and I have Flight Aware Station. I have a certain building, and I don't want to get in the details of it. I don't like it because technically it's Wingbits competition. But this guy is so OCD, anal, and stuff like that. It's his building, but for some reason he didn't want people to find out that we had a Wingbit station on there. So he forced me to put two pods in there. One's a Wingbit station and one is a Flight Aware station. I apologize to Robin for it. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. But my point is, these commercial companies are getting all their data from Flight Aware and Flight FA24 and all these different ones like that. They're not signed like with the geo sign and stuff like Wingbits is doing. They just offering Wingbits is offering them so much better of a project that's secure, that they can rely on. And when you hear them that last AMA that they have several new customers, they don't want to release them just yet. I'm hyped up about it. Now, y'all know Grumpy's rules. Grumpy's rules are one of my main rules is just because it works in crypto doesn't mean it's best for the miner, if that makes sense. I call it the helium rule, where helium has a network. It works. The rewards suck and we think it's horrible, but DIMO macrons are running on them. It's a legit network, you know. Rule number 8, maybe one day I'll memorize this. A project can be a success, but rewards suck for miners. And mining can be profitable, but the projects suck and it's not sustainable. And that's what, I think Wingbits is going to be great. But even they talked about in the last AMA, don't go put your down payment on the Lambo yet. They're not promising that. No, I said I'm too fat for Lambo. Good night, Tech Hustle. I appreciate you passing by, man. That was cool as hell, dude. Cool as hell. I appreciate that. Odin, listen. I would love to see Wingbits at 25 cents. And Who Fought It is constantly asking me, and several other people here constantly ask me for my price prediction on Wingbits, and I refuse to give one. All I say is, when you look at kind of what I was showing y'all earlier, what a 10 billion market cap token looks like, it's not 25 cents. Not close. Not even close. And this is not going to be an XRP thing and tell y'all, ignore the market cap. You just need to ignore market. You can't ignore market cap. It's multiplication. This many tokens versus this much price. It's ranked right here. It's not going to pass Ethereum in Bitcoin because y'all think banks are using it. I've been hearing that for 4 years now. Do I own some XRP? Yes. Do I tell people if XRP is well under $3? Yes, it's okay to buy some. When people call me, like, okay, whatever. But do people who think XRP is going to $10 and $100? I know XRP Rail is about to come curse me out. It is what it is. You look at the market cap. You look at where other tokens with 10 billion token supply is, and you can get a range. Some people, I don't like to even say my range because they have people on here that will roid rage and get pissed off when I tell them my possible range, because people don't want to hear that. My hope is that if you're making 200 wings a day, you're making about $2 a day. I'll be ecstatic for that. It's not what y'all want to hear, but that's just where I'm at. But to me, with an established project, not a project like Silencio and Sword Chain and Natix that are hoping to get these customers. That's why it's taking so long for TGE for Wingbits, and that is why they want to be established with paying customers. Robin says that. Actually said that in his big thing he did on Discord. He said it in the AMA. We want to have these established customers so that they can have their buy and burn mechanism in place, so they don't have to all of a sudden throw a bunch of money into their token to raise it up like DIMO, like I think DIMO's doing. But I still think 100 wings for $1. That's what I think. That's what I think the start. What I'm getting at is that with an established project with the buy and burn and with established customers and stuff, that's what they're waiting on. With CEX is buying them, I think it can go up from there. So I think a price of 100 wings for $1, 200 wings for $2. I think that's a great starting price. But I've said before, and I've said it many times in this live, I've said it many times in video, I've said it in the Discord, I said it to Axie. I'm telling you right now, I don't care what the starting price is of wings. You're going to have people lose their, you know what? The CHIT, chit. They're going to lose their chit in Discord because, oh my God, I can't believe Wingbits is 5 cents. It should be 10 cents. Oh my God, Wingbits is 0.005. This project will never. When Silencio came out before the token was fully released yet, and they did that sale, and they figured out what the price was going to be strictly off that sale, they deemed it a waste before the token was even released. And that's my fear with Wingbits is no matter what that price is, you'll have people on this thing saying Wingbits was a scam. Wingbits scam people. Wingbits knew that the tokenomics are wrong and they're giving more money to investors and the team, even though the team ain't getting theirs is locked the way it was explained to me. They don't even get theirs at TGE. This ain't Hawk Tour. They ain't getting everything at TGE mainnet. But you're still gonna have people going here and say, oh my God, it's only worth 2 cents. What you mean 2 cents? It's gonna take me, I'm only getting 10 tokens in a day, and it's gonna take me X amount of months. Well, maybe you should have put it up a little bit higher. Maybe you should have put it up at Granny's house and not your house. I don't know. Look, who fought it? I hope I'm wrong also. And that's what I say. That's why sometimes it pays to be a little negative, a little grumpy, because when I am wrong and it is worth 2 or 3 cents, when I think it's gonna be worth 1 or half or 1.5, and it is worth 2 or 3, then it makes it more exciting, more positive. I'm just trying to keep my hopes down. Like, I'm not going to put a down payment on my boat yet. Going to tell the bank I'm paying off the house. I'm not doing any of that. Another thing is, somebody mentioned about me having 1 million wings. I guess they saw it on my screen earlier. But you have to remember also, that's 1 million wings total. That's not included, unless I'm wrong, but at one time, that's not included what I owe my host with the percentages that we worked out. So you're going to lose that. It ain't going to be that. I think a lot of people don't understand that unless it's changed. But when I was told was that the number you see right now is 100% of the rewards for all your stations. So if I have 15 stations, I have 100% of those 15 stations. So my host in Baton Rouge that he's gonna get 25%, his 25% ain't taken out yet. My one of my other hosts, I don't really want to go over my percentages because I don't want to hear people's mess about them. But let's just say like that person's percentage isn't taken out yet. My Florida guy, I give him a little bit more percentage because that machine hardly makes anything. So I'm giving him like 75% because it don't make hardly anything. All I did was sent him a little potato. He provided everything else. So basically I maintain it. I'm giving him 75%. But it ain't taken out yet. So that's one thing I think unless Axie comes on here and tells me something different, that bulk that you see right now is not the percentages that's cut down. But anyway. Odin, that's the one time I agree with you that I hope you're right. You start with a low price. I don't know if they're doing this token sale or anything like that first. I don't know anything about that. But look, I have no problem waking up the next day or a week later or a month later and seeing my wings token went up 200%. I hope you're right. But I just have this feeling that it's not gonna be worth that, and people are gonna lose their and give up and say, "Oh my God, I can't believe this," and not give it a chance to even go up. They have figured out a mechanism where now the people like me who bought hexes early in the beginning of this project, you know, because I've been in this project for a while now, but in the beginning when you had to buy hexes, $20 a piece, I think they were, and I bought 20 plus of them. If I'm not, again, I can't remember nothing. But at first they were going to split those refunds back over 12 months. They decided to give us all that up front. So you're going to have some people selling. You know, we had a choice of getting a full refund a year ago on those tokens or get 150% in tokens. I'm sorry, refunds on those hexes. You are allowed to get you $20 back on the hex purchase then, or 150% worth of tokens in the future. I picked the 150%. I wanted my tokens, but those will all be released at TGE, that refund. So you will have some people selling. You have people who, you know, like me, if I have 1 million tokens, you split 1 million up, you know, I failed college math, but you you know, I don't know what, you know, let's just say I have 900,000 after you take, I'm just using for example, after you give to my host, I'm still getting 75,000 tokens a month. But then also there's also this bonus that you're getting also because it's testing that token. So it'd probably be higher than this. But I'm gonna get 75,000 per month for the first 12 months. In addition to what I'm getting. See how this could all, you know. See, this is my number one rule. I hope I don't use when the token price comes out. I hope I don't have to use. Oh, I messed that up. I hope I don't have to use. I told you so. So, see, rule number 10. If you always think negative, you're always prepared if things go south, but you're also happy when things go positive. Oh, then that's one of the questions that different people can have different answers. You have some people who will say, again, like I showed you with sword chain, I'm selling right away because I know this price is going to start doing that. If I need to sell before everybody else sells. And people start seeing it sell, and they're like, well, I was going to hold, but if I sell now, I'm right here. If I wait too long, the price is going to be right here. I need to sell now. You know, or do you do the responsible thing? Kind of like me, every project I'm in, what am I in? 18 different projects, 15 different projects that are on mainnet, something like that. I sold a little bit of grass for some spending money at last November's hunting season, like $100 worth. I had 1,000, but I don't want nobody to call me a liar, so I give you all that stupid little information. I've never sold any of my tokens in any project, other than helium, of course, but that's because, you know, I made $5,000 in 17 days. If you haven't heard that story 300 times, but other than that, all these other ones, DIMO, Sword Chain, Nadix, GeoNet, I haven't sold. Rover, I haven't sold because I just think the price is too low right now. Yes, if I would have sold any of those tokens when they first came out, I would have made more. So, Odin, I don't know how many of my lives you've caught in the past, and I'm gonna leave y'all with this. For the people who have been here before, there's one place I have a goal to reach. And I was literally working on that today. And a lot of y'all are going to know exactly what I'm talking about. But I think Odin is new, so he doesn't know. I don't know why this is not opening. The one place I don't have coverage yet is the central part of the United States. Show all stations. Oh, and technically, I guess technically the East Coast. My hope is soon y'all will see Grumpy coverage here. I was working on that today. I have basically did an all call to the population of this city today. Can't tell you what I did, but basically the population of Chugwater, if you follow these videos at all, everybody knows Chugwater, D. Vasilino was always talking about Chugwater. I am this close from taking a week off of work and driving to Chugwater and going door to door. Just because I am that kind of OCD person or anal person, whatever you want to call it, that we have all talked so many times about putting something in Chugwater that I will drive up there. And even if I got to put something in the mountains back here, 619 OTA puts does those stations in the middle of the mountains and stuff like that. But I did an all call to the entire population of Chugwater. You know, I tell y'all, the $1 Million Man wrestling, WWF wrestling in the 80s, the $1 Million Man taught us a very important lesson. Everybody's got a price. Now, are we willing to pay that price? I don't know. Because, yeah, Chugwater's here. That's all fun and dandy. But really, you got coverage here, Covenant. So it ain't going to be, or maybe not. But you have some stations up here, some stations down here. But, yes, I'm hoping to cover this corner of the world up. I got a friend in California who is saying I can put one at his house, but he does live in an open hex that is somewhere around Glendale. But 619 would never talk to me again. So I'm not going to go step on him. It'd be cool just to have some hexes lit up right here. Maybe 619 will work a deal with me. Give me 10% just so I can have some hexes that show up or something. I don't know. But yeah, if I can get something covered here, maybe Alaska. At one point I was working with somebody out here to go international, but it didn't work out. But this is why, again, for those of y'all who are new, where's my stinky hat at? Evangelina's making me a new hat because this one reeks. Too many hot summer days. But Godfather of the golf. I got the golf locked down. We'll see. We'll see what happens. I'm positive about the project. I think it's going to be cool. So make sure you hit the like button. It is 9 o'clock. We've been here for almost 2 hours. I appreciate everybody who came on this Tuesday Night Live. I don't know what the hell we're going to talk about now on Thursday now, but hey, it is what it is. I'm shocked there are still open hexes in big cities. They are. But again, the problem is again, look, I'm going to get trapped and keep talking now. But the problem is that, yes, while there's open hexes, what are you really going to make? I'm surprised people getting almost 100, to be honest with you. I think the new map hexes are a little too bright for me. But anyway, so why would you put, again, and if Grumpy's price is what we think it's going to be, what you making? 70 cents a day. Again, that's just my guess. But there are some, and I hope nobody ever puts one here, but there are some open areas. Look at this wide open space. This is a perfect place for somebody to put a station at. Up in here. Again, I know that's not the kindest of areas, but even to have reliable coverage, even in here, this Oklahoma Panhandle. You got Amarillo. I think for those of y'all who are new here, Amarillo was one that I did a test to everybody and I said, hey, I bet I can start mentioning the city back when there was DIY stations. I bet you I can mention the city and somebody's going to snipe me, because when I would mention Corpus Christi, all of a sudden there was 3 stations down there. So I said, hey, I'm going to put one in Amarillo. I got a buddy who lives in Amarillo. He's going to let me put one up. In 2-3 weeks in a row, I said Amarillo, and guess what happened? This dude put one for 7 wings a day. But anyway, so there are some areas that you can still put stations. Let me, when you zoom out, look at these gaps. Now, again, this is desert. I know, and ain't probably the most condensed areas in the world. But don't act like there's not, coverage area. You can still put another one here. This is 1 hex. It's not even online yet. Yeah, so there's still some coverage areas that you can hit on Wingbits and still make some very good rewards, probably. Oh, golf or grump now. It's the golf for us. I grew up on the Gulf Coast. I go to vacation on the Gulf Coast. I was literally standing in the Gulf Coast 2 weeks ago. If you saw the video on my outdoors YouTube channel, literally standing in the Gulf Coast fishing. It's the Gulf and in the Gulf. It ain't the Gulf of Mexico, the Gulf of America, the Gulf of Cuba, the Gulf of Hawaii. It's the Gulf. I don't get wrapped up in that stupid stuff. But anyway, we'll see. So again, I'm gonna try again. $2 a month, 7 tokens per day. Good. I guarantee that's a DIY setup. I guarantee it's a DIY setup because that's when it was set up. The high fix stations weren't even out back then. I knew somebody in Amarillo, Texas, from hunting, who was gonna let me put a station up. That jackass just happened to snipe me when I mentioned it. And it's a DIY station that's probably in his mama's basement. That's the only thing I can figure looking at those rewards. I mean, it's literally 6. Getting 1,000 data points a day. 2,000, 3,000, 4,000. But, all right, ladies and gentlemen, I got to get something to eat. It's 9 o'clock. I need to get something to drink. Use the bathroom. I appreciate everybody who's followed. Make sure you hit the like button. Thank you all very much. Hopefully DIMO keeps on going. Hopefully Wingbits, TGE soon. Maybe about a month from now-ish. And the 3rd quarter. Summer 3rd quarter should be the end of September. So, hey, either way, we're about a month out. Then we'll find out what token price looks like. So, Alaska is wide open, Odin. A little bit too cold for me. I don't understand how they cold and have mosquitoes like they do. I never understood that. But anyway, let me get out of here, guys. I'm starving. Thank you all for watching. Seriously, thank you all for all the support and everything like that. And we'll see you all next video. Tomorrow, should be doing a video on my brush show that's charging. It's got a cute little light now. Oh, I dropped it. That's great. It's green on the bottom. I guess that means it's ready to go. Go and brush my teeth. So, brush show drops on Friday. On Helium Deploy. Use my code. Let him know y'all watching my videos.